Welcome everybody. Anthony here with the Bulbaritos, bringing you a brand new video. And today, Burrito Gang, we are going to be doing our next breakdown episode on the exact strategy that we believe OneV utilized in order to take the Grand Finals championship away from THICC GT. So stay tuned and enjoy the breakdown. Alrighty, welcome back, Burrito Gang. Man, we got a doozy for y'all today. So this is footage from our cast from match 3 of the Osiris League Grand Final Season 5. So this was the crowning moment. And so I just wanted to bring y'all a video kind of explaining why it worked, because it really impacted the amount of effectiveness from THICC GT when it came to mid brawls, which is probably the deciding factor of this match was mid game. Okay, so typical in an arc match, you're gonna see the team split off into more likely than not just the top lane, bottom lane. And in some situations, you will see teams that will break up through the mid in order to disrupt the outpost. And in this situation right there, this is why I was saying this is very important that we pay attention together. If OneV are seeing this and are gonna break for it, okay, here's the important part right here. This is the part that a lot of people missed. These marches that are over on this far left side keep your eye on them, okay? Song ran a very similar strategy where they disrupted at the gate as well, but they send their marches through the middle, okay? The reason that's important to understand is because this is an explanation of adaptation on the fly. If you want to become a very good Osiris League team, this is what you need to shoot for, being able to adapt on the fly. They were planning on originally sending these marches up the middle, but the call out was made that THICC GT were also sending marches up the middle, which, what would that mean? Okay, hindsight being 2020, that would have meant that these marches probably would have gotten crushed in middle before they even got to their objective, which was the pass, the gate, okay? So as we see it unfold, the gate, they actually turn back once they see it. These marches continue to go forward. That way their strategy still unfolds. And as you see them, there they go, they turn. This is the important part, the timing of these marches. Those were the marches that peeled off, as you'll see them up top. They peel off and they came down south. The timing was crucial here. If they go too early, guess what happens? These marches will then fixate on them. They get banged up against this wall. GG's, the strategy is over, okay? So what they did was they waited for the fights to engage by the altar because they understood that THICC GT was probably thinking in their mind, hey, they're gonna attempt to get first occupation. They're gonna try to snub it. And what are we gonna do about it? Okay, what are we gonna do about it? And that timing is crucial here. If they don't time it right, they get banged up against the wall. This strategy is completely null and void. It's over, okay? So we're gonna let it play and you're gonna see, they're gonna sneak by. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this. They're like, oh man, they're like, you know what, YOLO. And then here comes the second part of the strategy. I think and I zoom over there because I feel like these were the outpost marches that were just trying to sneak by to go snub the outpost. That's why you keep seeing me go back and forth. And it isn't until about 20 seconds after this, then I start to realize what the exact strategy is. And this is where the mind, look at these marches over here on the bottom side. Look what happens. They peel off, right? At this moment, if you are THICC GT, the thought through your mind should be, why are all these marches disengaging and where are they going, right? You know for a fact that they are no longer going after first occupation. They're all retreating to your right, okay? Or not retreating, they're progressing to your right, okay? Then from there, they just seep through the sides. These marches stay to occupy these marches. And in about 20 seconds, the plan is revealed and there is almost nothing you can do about this. Look, I check out all the blue lines. I see that they're completely going past that outpost and bam, bam, the plan is revealed. Look, I'm gonna zoom over here in a hot second. I see that they're completely abandoning and look at all these cities that are still in the starting zone. This disruption is huge for the winning of the first arc. okay? First arc, I tell you every single time, dictates the pace of the match. That is why it's super crucial. They could hold it, they can cap it fast, they can make it into a 2 arc match as opposed to a 3 or a 4 that some of these were starting to become. And it really takes kind of the wind out of your sails when you can't dictate that, because as we're gonna watch, and then we'll flip over to the other screen, these marches start to then come out, and then the last part of the plan works to perfection. They all start vectoring towards the path, towards the gate. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then here's where the last part of the plan has to be. You really don't want to push them right at the gate, okay? The reason being is they're so close to the gate that if you were to hit them, they would literally go back, come back, zero your marches out, and then just progress. The timing on this is huge though, okay? So what you really want to do is you want it to be far enough to where they have to come out of the gate, and when you kill the march, then it takes them a little bit of time to come back, right? The good part, at least for 60 GT, is all these cities they stayed in the starting zone were at the front lines. That is why it is really, really important that if you have those cities that are going to be staying in the back, they're close to the front. If they would have been all the way in the back, that would have added another 45 to minute of just marching before they even got onto the field. So that is a huge kudos to 60 GT for at least planning that part out. The marches are going to keep working. All these marches, they're going to be coming out of the starting zone, were the ones that were swarming for those altars and shrines. How we always talk about, you swarm to kill off your troops, to send fresh ones towards middle. Well, guess what? Not only are they not going to be fresh, they're going to be super late to mid fight. They're super late. As you see them starting to scramble, look at this, starting to scramble to run around these marches. There you see they break off from the bottom, they break off to the top. You are not escaping this death trap, right? You are not escaping the death trap towards middle in 1 second. See, here are the brawls that we were talking about. Look at the timer, 450. A lot of the times teams would already be rotating towards mid, but instead all these marches have to engage with these marches. And you know, it's hard, right? These marches that are dying are crucial right here, because they are lowering them down low enough to where it forces you to make a decision. Are you sending half dead marches to middle that are already going to be late, or are you going to retreat to then resend back? They decided to resend back, so they pull back for the majority of the marches. They pull back to then resend. The issue is, by making that decision, they were now almost going to show up a minute late towards mid. Okay, so we're going to check the timers. You see all these marches coming back. Look at the sheer amount of marches that got targeted by, what was that, 2 or 3 players, and they did work, right? You see a couple cities porting forward in order to just cut down that time to rotating, but not everybody's going to be able to do it. And I click on a couple of these marches to see just what the timing is. We got 3:45. Look, with a cav march, a fast cav march, 3 minutes out. So they will be there 45 seconds before the arc spawns. And usually you have skills getting popped. Look at the infantry, 3:45. You see my indicator. Look, 3:45. They are late to arc. So all of these infantry, slow archers are all going to be late to mid game, and that really, really decided the match. This didn't just happen on the break off, right? This happened on the second arc that won this match as well. OneV also won that one as well, and that ultimately, Burrito Gang, was the reason why OneV, look, you know, they were the ability to win match 3. Okay, so let's go back in and really dissect this on the map. I'll break it down clean and simple. I wanted to show y'all that footage. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Stay here. All right, we're gonna switch over right now. All right, Burrito Gang, we are now in the Burrito Factory. We brought up the map that we've designed and drawn up. I'm looking at adding this into our Discord, so definitely go check out the links down below. It's also gonna be on our website as well. So, all right, let's break it down, how exactly it happened. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so 60 GT started on the zone that's down here. We will start them with the red, okay? This, okay. Then they went like this. And then they did send a pack of people that went through the middle, okay? That is the initial break off for 60 GT. So they were here. Here is their starting zone. they did the same thing. So they pushed right here. They pushed right here. They went all the way through here. Okay. And now here's the first difference. Okay. Their marches that came through middle, right? Y'all remember what we showed y'all when they did that, what ended up happening. Okay. So there were some smaller marches that all engaged right here. Okay. And then those select marches that were right here that were originally supposed to go this way, but instead decided to peel back and go this way. Okay, that is crucial part number one. And then we're going to this altar. Okay, the brawls, and they start to engage. Okay, we start to see 60 GT right here. All right, they're doing the correct thing. They're posturing forward on the forward side of their thing in order to engage the enemy. Okay, on the alternative side, we do see, whoops, I'm on the wrong layer, it doesn't matter. Okay, we do see OneV engaging here as well. But as we showed you on the video, those marches that had then moved down, right, were sitting right here. They were, you know, they were waiting. Okay, they were waiting for this one moment where these marches would then engage right here. That was what they were waiting for. They were waiting for those engagements right there on either side. Okay, because then it would give them the opportunity, the window that they needed in order to slip by. Okay. On the other fronts, as we were showing y'all, the other fronts, these engagements were happening on all three of these sectors. Fighting was happening, a typical break off, right? The only difference were these separate marches that peeled off. Okay. From there, you did start to see a couple of the marches trickle off from this murder ball and join forces with those marches that had peeled off. Okay. Their sole objective at the time was to sneak by and then ultimately park right in front of their pass. Okay, creating kind of that bottleneck. Okay, and then from there, all they did was engage, and that was all she wrote, ladies and gents. Okay, so what it ended up forcing 60 GT to do was it forced them to fight within this ball. Okay, they had to fight within that ball against the 1V marches, which was an issue because the time was, the time was of great importance. And once they fought there, it really, the first arc was pretty much over because then they had to resend up to middle and then they were late. By the time they got there, the forces had been wiped, and it was a beautiful strategy on the part of 1V. The timing was impeccable. I really hope that y'all enjoyed the breakdown for this episode. I am looking at trying to do more of these next season. If you do enjoy them, let me know. And, I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's weekend. And we'll see y'all soon, Burrito Gang. All right, Bulba out. Bye.
No sé qué tú ves en mí, mi amor. Ya no dejes de mirarme, que ya me gusta quién soy. Contigo me siento en control. Eres el balance.